I got a career for a little while longer.
Hit the subscribe button.
It's long overdue, actually.
Yeah, I appreciate it. I mean, I don't. Everyone tell me this show is huge.
Asshole. We hope. I know. I mean, there was this recently when Soder went on Rogan's podcast.
Yeah.
And it had kind of become a thing that like Soder and now DeStefano is like the last one to not go on or whatever. And I started thinking about if there were people in New York that we need to have on. And I know like your name is I was laying on the ground, so it's going to be covered.
You're a mess.
But I just, my point being, every comic who's a real comic always brings your name up. And
great.
This
is going to be bad.
Up, so, yeah, no.
I was like, oh, Jesus.
No. I mean, it seems like you're one of those, like, comics. Right?
Yeah, I like to think so. Thanks. Your work. Yeah, I'm certainly not the audience comic. Because, all my peers are doing theaters, and I'm at, whatever. But, yeah, whatever. Comic. I'll take it.
Dude, the being everyone's comic, or the audience comic, whatever you said, reminds me of one of the bits in the new special. It's this year's material, right?
Yes.
This year's material is a great name for a fucking special.
Thank you. Well, it's supposed to be a play on the Elvis Costello album, This Year's Model. And then I was going to shoot a replica because he's got glasses, he sucks, and he's like behind the camera. And I was going to do the thing. I don't think he sucks. He's awesome. I just mean he's.
I was going to say, I love Elvis Costello.
It's like my favorite album. I just mean.
This is an Elvis Costello podcast?
I mean, he sucks because he's got glasses, is what I meant. He's like, but you know what I mean? So I was going to do that, and I still plan to, but I haven't yet, so nobody.
Getting
gets
the full
it. A couple people have been like, "Is this about Elvis Costello?"
Oh, well,
like, it is.
I gotta be honest.
Like,
this is the year's material that I've been working on.
There's that too. Yeah, it is like a double.
Right.
You know,
without trying to get cute with the name or whatever. It's just like, here's my material.
Yeah, it's that also. But when you see the visual,
it all comes together.
Yeah, it'll really be something.
But when you were talking about, you had a bit in that where you're talking about, you said the line, and I love this line. I agree with all of you individually.
Yeah. Oh, that's so good.
I've never felt something more
specifically about the mask and stuff, but in general.
I mean, yes, but in everything. I'm like, you are absolutely right. In fact, we were just watching do you know who James Cromwell is? The actor. You do know who he is. You might
once you see this guy's face, you're gonna know him.
Yeah.
Sure,
have you seen Babe?
Babe, the pig movie?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I know that guy.
He's one of those guys that you know him, and he's been in a million movies.
So he just got arrested moments ago.
Oh, great.
For super gluing himself to the table, to the register at Starbucks to protest there. They charge more for vegan milk.
Okay.
And they upsell on vegans is something that doesn't sit well with him. And I was watching his protest, and it started with like, African Americans don't digest milk well, and don't digest cow's milk well, and you're right up there. And I was watching. I was like, I agree. This is
sure,
fucked
that makes
up.
sense.
Get him, James.
Something you've never
What he's
thought about
doing
in your
is an
life.
objectively crazy thing, and I was like, I'm on his side.
Bro,
See, I was
6'7", by the way.
Oh, wow.
Good luck kicking him out of Starbucks when he's gluing himself to the table.
That's a lot of glue. I thought the story was he said something racist. Like,
No.
he's like, blacks can't drink milk. I thought he was like a bad guy. Oh, okay. I didn't know that about African Americans.
I mean,
neither did I.
More power
I don't know if
to
it's
someone
true, but
who
he said it, and I want to say one thing one time. I'm like, yeah, that's correct.
More power to anybody who tries to help other people. I don't think that's the cross I'm going to die on.
Right.
I don't know if that's the one that's worth getting arrested for.
No.
African Americans.
I drank spoiled milk last night.
No, I had this one time where they were talking about horse and carriage in New York, and all these people were protesting, like, we got to get rid of it because it stinks up the city. It's cruel to animals.
Yeah.
And yada. And I was like, yeah, fuck that. I'll sign. Yeah. And then there was like a counter thing that was like, that's like part of the history. All these guys are immigrants. Where would they go? What do they do with the horses if not? And it's the clip clop. And I was like, that's a good point too.
I love the clip clop.
I'm like, maybe we do half horses? I don't know. I'm like, I'm out. All this shit. I'm like, you make great points.
That's why I can't listen to anyone
so
have
true.
arguments, because I'm so dumb and simple that like I said I believe you 100% right away. I'm like, oh yeah, no, you're definitely right. And then someone's like, well actually, blank. I'm like,
yeah, it's almost like life is a complicated thing with nuanced issues.
It's a little tricky, but the mask, I still on the subway have it on, and then if there's people around me not wearing it, I just take it off my chin, and then I put it. I'm like doing this the whole time, like whatever you guys.
I've been doing that. I take the train a lot, and not the subway, like the train, and I've been doing that because it's you don't have to wear them anymore. The trains, airplanes, and all that stuff. And I don't have a mask. I haven't had a mask basically since I got vaccinated. I don't really care. Not that we're gonna turn this into a mask podcast, but and like whenever I'll get seated next to someone and they'll be wearing a mask, and I'm like, fuck, now I feel really bad. Like if I had one, I'd put it on. I just don't even have one. I'm sorry.
I'm just a chameleon. At all times, I want to please everybody who I'm in front of.
Yeah, which I think is fair. I'm just like, sorry.
So I know.
I
I'm sure some people think of it as like a, you don't have a backbone or something. It's like, shut the fuck up.
Yeah,
I just don't want to fight.
I'm a people pleaser.
Yeah,
that's it.
Yeah, no. I mean, I'll take some stances. I don't like the Nazis. They're bad. But if they were here, I'd be like, well. I also don't want to get beat up. So, what can you do? Oh, wait, is this the show?
Yeah, this is it.
Okay,
Yeah,
there was no like, all right,
No,
we're hitting
we just
record.
fucking-
All right,
no.
great.
We usually do that before it. We like to kind of just
Okay.
go.
We try
Great.
to capture you saying like a racial slur before you.
Oh, beautiful.
And we've got you.
All right, well.
Sorry,
disappointed.
What was he gonna say? Fuck, I forgot. We got on Nazis too fast. We
Sorry.
usually say that
There's
for the
a
second
clip.
half.
We got Nazis too fast. No, but I don't think there's anything wrong with like. I don't go to places and blow it up with my personal beliefs about things. If I go somewhere and you guys are doing this, I'll do that.
Yeah.
And as long as it's not, Nazism, like you said.
Somebody had the tweet that I thought was funny. Where they were like, "Oh, interesting. All the COVID experts are also Ukraine experts."
Yeah. How does
It's
that
all the
happen,
same
huh?
people are like, I know everything about infectious viruses and also Ukrainian Russian politics. And that's why I try
nuts,
to.
man.
I just sit the stuff out.
Are you big on social media? Like, do you use it a lot?
I use
that's
it
the root of
a
all this
fair
shit.
amount, but I mean, like I'm good about. I just check my own shit. I tweet, and then every once in a while I'll be like, "Oh, that one's doing well, whatever."
Right.
And then every once in a while someone will tell me to kill myself, and I'll block them and think about killing myself.
That's the circle of life on social media.
But I don't-
Might as well go to bed after that.
I never go through a Twitter feed. I don't read Twitter.
Wow.
I read my ats or mention whatever the fuck. And
Yeah.
Instagram I'll post. TikTok I can't do. I should. Everyone's like, you got to do TikTok. Hire someone to do it. But TikTok I can't handle because as soon as you turn it on, it's on.
I know, it just goes.
It's just like la 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 la.
Yeah,
And my
yeah,
wife is on it, and it makes me want to get divorced.
Yes, dude. When you're in a room with someone on TikTok, it makes you. I'll never be on TikTok, so I'm never the guy in the room on TikTok.
Same, yeah.
It's impossible.
It's like talking on speakerphone.
Yeah.
You are just taking over this room with your fucking TikTok feed right now. But I don't know why it's any different. I mean, I guess on Instagram you can turn the volume down or you can turn the volume off all the way. But yeah, I mean, I think it's more that the people who are on it are just blasting it like assholes.
Yeah,
you know,
that's-
you could just.
Those are the kind of people on TikTok. People who
No,
can't
it's
be around.
destroying society. I don't want to be like that guy who's like, it's ruining us, man. But it's really bad. And like, I have a nephew who's 13 or whatever, and he's like obsessed with football. But when the football game is on, he's watching football highlights on TikTok, and I'm
Right.
like, but the game is on.
Yeah.
now.
Right.
But I think we're going to be like a highlighty thing. Which also, I took him to a Red Sox game. And you realize anyone who's 13 grown up with TikTok, baseball is a punishment.
Yeah.
Like it's like I'm being mean to him. I'm like, we're gonna sit and watch
Dude.
this. And he's like, you can see him like
the people who still argue for baseball, they'll be like, baseball's fine. Our ratings are up. Like, you have not put yourself in the shoes of a 13-year-old kid. They hate it like poison.
No, it's
And I don't blame them. It's a boring fucking thing to watch.
I felt
I
like-
love it, but it's objectively boring.
Yeah, I felt like it was mean when I was doing it. Like it's almost like you didn't clean your room. We're taking you to
like,
Fenway.
yeah.
It's bad.
Like if you don't have the like the reverence for Fenway, where you're like, wow, like I'm here and I'm watching, like Ted Williams played here, and now we're watching if you're just here for the game and it's a slow sport and a lot of stop and go, it's probably like, what are we doing?
Yeah, particularly April baseball. It was like 48 degrees.
Yeah.
So the
We're
seats
literally
are
like
uncomfortable.
Right,
shivering
everything's
in
tiny, and you're not, you half the people want to get fucked up and drink beer. You're not
Yeah.
doing that, so it's like, I can understand it until that changes. Baseball's gonna die.
I was actually in Boston last weekend, and I had honestly, like I had a Boston cab experience that I hesitated telling people because they would be like, "You made this up. Like, there's no way."
Hollywood turns it down.
This all went down. It was. I got to South Station, and I was going to the Bruins game that night, and I got to South Station, and then I'm a cab guy. I like cabs over Ubers. I don't like that shit. If there's a cab stand somewhere, I'm waiting in line for the cab.
Sure.
Every single time. So I'm in a cab. I'm waiting at the cab stand at South Station, and this guy pulls up in an Explorer, old Explorer.
That's where your line is, by the way. That's where you draw the line.
Like
everything else, you'll be a people pleaser. We're taking the fucking cab.
Yeah, well, I'm solo. I'm pleasing myself.
Sure.
I'm a people pleaser for me.
Yeah.
I sacrifice it for everyone else whenever someone's around. So when I'm alone, I'm pleasing myself.
Yeah, you are.
And this dude pulls up in an Explorer, and right away I start people pleasing. So and like an Eddie Bauer edition, like the '97.
Oh, that
one,
old
right?
school
old
shit.
School stuff.
Yeah,
and he's like, "You need a ride?" And I was like, "Yeah." And I just put my bags in, I figured if a gypsy cab guy was gonna kidnap and kill someone, I'm probably not the first.
First choice. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we get in the car, and the Bruins are down 2-0 in the series at this point. Celtics are down. Sox suck. And he's like, "Fucking Boston sports are terrible now." And he starts, and I, who actually was up on the Bruins, I thought we were going to turn the series around. I was right. And I just agree with him. Like, I just start laying in exactly like we're saying. Like, Don Sweeney keeps getting us fuck. I put on an accent as well.
Absolutely. Same. Oh, I'm a Kennedy when I go home. It's hilarious.
Like, Don Sweeney keeps getting us fucking bullied out of the playoffs 6 years in a row. Can't put a tough team together. It's nuts. And he's like, and then he's yelling back. He's like, "Don't even get me started on Trevor Story." I'm like, "Oh, Story, I can't even do it. He gets crazy. Fucking 4 strikeouts today, right?" Because they play the Angels in the day game. And then and we're going, and this crazy traffic, and it ends up taking like a half hour to get to the hotel I was staying at, and we ran out of fumes bitching about Boston sports.
Sure.
And then there's a little lull, and he just goes, "This abortion thing is crazy." I was like, "Oh, no,
amazing.
bro. We don't have to do that.
That is amazing.
Just be quiet for the last couple minutes.
You got to swing it back. Speaking of abortions, how about Patino's run as coach? That was crazy.
And then he ended it with he goes, and I'd just like to tell you before you leave, like he had to get this one last thing off. Just like to tell you before you leave, it's not the Russians I'm scared of. He goes, "It's the Chinese."
Always.
And if they team up, then we're really fucked. And I was like, "Thank you very much.
Have a good day,
Have a
sir."
good day.
I got to say, he sounds smarter than the average Boston cab driver.
He was
I think
pro-life.
he's on to a couple of
Once he
things.
got going on abortion, he was pro-life. I was like, I did not see this twist coming.
Wow. Wow, that's impressive, though.
No, those are... And yeah, you're basically like staunchly opposite of everything you were talking about, right?
Yeah, very.
You're positive about Boston
Wait, I'm
sports.
saying he was pro-choice. He was pro-choice.
Oh, okay,
That's
okay.
That was.
I was like, we're celebrating that pro-life thing a little bit hard here.
No. I was surprised to see he was pro-choice. Yeah. But no, I do think the Red Sox suck. That one I was pretty honest about.
So you're Boston?
I'm a big Boston guy.
Where are you from?
Yeah, I'm from Whitman, Mass.
Whitman, okay.
Birthplace of the chocolate chip cookie.
Really?
Where's my camera? Yeah, you can look it up. Everyone always looks it up. People don't believe me.
I don't believe you.
Yeah, people don't believe me. And then days later, they'll be like, "Hey, you were right about that." And I'm like, "Well, I wasn't right about it. I wasn't making a prediction. I was telling you a thing that happened."
When was it invented?
I don't know that. I never read past the first sentence. I'm always nervous because I'm afraid they changed the history somewhere. Is somebody on it?
I feel like that would have had to have been invented in like hundreds and hundreds of years ago.
I don't think so. I think the chocolate chip cookies. These people, they weren't living well.
They're
back
new?
then.
No fucking no shot.
Oh, the Roaring 30s.
No fucking
Is that right?
shot that cookies were invented
Not
90
cookies,
years ago.
chocolate chip cookies.
Chocolate chip cookies.
But the
No, there
chocolate
was
chip cookie
horseshit
is the king
cookies.
cookie.
That's the cookie.
Like you're telling me that you think there was a whole wave of cookies before chocolate chip?
Oh yeah,
I think
sugar
there was,
cookies,
yeah.
macaroons.
There's black and white cookie
Black
that probably
and white.
came in the 60s or something. There was other cookies. Oreos probably been around a while.
No way.
I don't
There's
know.
no way that Oreos made it before chocolate chip.
I don't think-
First of all, apparently cookies came around in the 7th century AD. There's no fucking way
Sure.
nobody put chocolate in there until 1930.
It's the chip, though.
chip,
The
yeah,
chip.
the
It might have been
chip's
chocolate.
The Toll House, the
filled.
semi-sweet.
The Toll House. That's where Whitman. That's Whitman.
That's
This is
Whitman?
the
All
Toll
right.
House cookie. It burned down.
Maybe like the modern day chocolate chip cookie that we know, but there's no way there was not people putting bits of chocolate in cookies.
Go to the source. When was the chocolate chip invented? That's what you got to look up.
Yeah. First of all, I would not have guessed that Iran had the first cookie.
I think they used to be different. They were, they were
Clearly, they used to be
cookie people.
They used to be making cookies. After the Industrial Revolution, improvements in technology led to a bigger variety of cookies.
Hell yeah.
So the base for all cookies were the same: wheat, flour, sugar, and fats. Coming to America. I mean, all right,
film.
so whatever. I mean,
Yeah.
That was
Just
the
on
80s.
IMDb now.
let's see. Here are the most
Look at
popular
Eddie
types
Murphy
of
movies.
cookies from around the world. Animal crackers came from England.
Ugh, garbage.
The Anzac biscuit is Australia's national biscuit. I don't know.
Terrible, I'm sure. Probably like a
Biscotti
Oh,
from
yep.
the Guineas.
Garbage.
The chocolate chip cookie was invented by mistake by Ruth Graves Wakefield in 1937, Massachusetts.
Yes, baby. Whitman.
She ran the
Joe,
Toll
you were right about
House.
this.
Yeah.
She ran the Toll House restaurant, would often bake cookies for her guests. One day, on the day in question, she was making butter drop dew cookies. When she realized she had run out of baker's chocolate, she used a bar of semi-sweet chocolate instead, melting it in, blah, blah, blah. There you go.
There
That
you go,
is-
folks.
That's bullshit.
It's basically like penicillin was the chocolate chip cookie. Like it's just a complete
accidentally,
accident.
yeah.
Hell yeah.
I respect that.
I'd take the chocolate chip cookie over penicillin, personally.
Yeah, the chocolate chip cookie, that's better than fucking Brady and the Pat. Like, that's better than anything you guys got. The chocolate chip cookie is like one of the most important things in the world.
Absolutely. Yeah. No, it is more important than all those guys.
How about the Fig Newton? Now that origin is up for debate. One claim is that it was invented by a Philadelphia inventor named James Henry Mitchell in 1891. Another claim is that it was invented by Charles Martin in St. Petersburg, Florida. I mean, who knew?
It's like the Cobb salad.
Yeah. So, if you want to walk around claiming something, claim you invented the Fig Newton, because at best you can say, well, it's debated. You know? I think it's great to claim, like Dusty Baker claiming he invented the high five.
Yeah.
That's an amazing thing that nobody can really like prove you wrong on.
Bobby Valentine invented
Valentine,
the
the
rap.
What
Al
is
Gore
it?
invented the internet.
He invented the wrap sandwich.
Yeah, Bobby Valentine did.
That's what he claims?
Yeah.
That's a fact, brother.
No kidding. Wow. How about that?
Can you disprove it? Like, I don't know.
I can't. No, I can.
Like, coming up with that kind of stuff is amazing. It's
And
just
then-
like, I invented the fist bump. I invented the, it's like, I don't know.
I thought the high five was a guy that had HIV.
Really?
You never heard that?
No.
No, look it up. Seriously. No, it really is.
Why? Was it because he had HIV, or that was just
No,
a,
it's just like a
five?
crazy ironic. Look up high five inventor. It's not Dusty Baker. It's I forget the guy's name.
I think the high five is specifically what we're talking about.
Yes.
Because Dusty was like, I invented like
the
there,
high
there was
five.
the
They did the
slap,
low
but I
five.
did the high five.
Look up the high five. I can't believe you don't know this story.
Is it just because it's high and then V, like Roman numeral?
Well, that's
five?
what's so ironic about it. It's one of those things like the guy that invented the toilet's name is Crapper, I believe.
Really?
Yeah.
These are all things. Look it up, baby. The guy.
Joe
I think
Liz has got it. They got the material.
I think it's Crapper. Invented the toilet.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Now look up high five. The
Wait,
guy
so
he
is that why
died of
is that
HIV.
why the toilet's called the crapper?
Well, some
I don't know.
people probably are saying that. Other people are probably saying it's where you fucking crap.
Yeah.
Or did you call it the crapper and then we started calling shit crap?
Boy, I don't know. But now we're getting
who
deep
invented
here.
the word crap for shit? Because it's a chicken or the egg.
But then you get really deep. You're like, who decided it meant shit and language in
yeah.
general
Language
and
is wild.
hieroglyphics? I don't get
That's
it.
why Shakespeare is crazy. He's credited with like 40% of the fucking language.
Yes, he's very good. I've read articles. From what I understand, he
Like
I've read
how-
the Cliff. Did you say Cliff Notes?
Cliff Notes.
Yes,
Oh, I remember Cliff Notes.
That's
Yeah,
what
I
I've
love
read
Cliff
of his.
Notes.
I've not read the Shakespearean English.
Yeah, I know a little bit about him. He married Anne Hathaway, the original Anne Hathaway.
That
was his wife's name.
Of knowledge, huh?
Yeah.
What?
His wife's name
What do
was
you
Anne
think the
Hathaway.
stupidest thing you know is?
Might be Anne Hathaway.
Anne Hathaway, the original Anne Hathaway.
I want to
married
get this
Shakespeare.
HIV because the HIV high five thing sounds so insane. I sound like a bad person.
It is showing up that there was a gay outfielder on the Angels, and Dusty Baker's involved with it a little bit.
Okay.
Diving in. I read slow as shit, so this might be a while.
Okay. All right.
The all that going back and forth with the words and stuff reminded me that I don't know if it was you who said it, but just that the brain named itself.
The Earth.
Oh no, yeah. The brain did name itself, which is a weird thing to think of.
Wait, what?
The brain named itself.
Because you were thinking,
Someone
somebody
was
was
using-
using. Yeah, yeah.
But
we don't know who invented the word Earth. We don't know who named this planet
Interesting.
Earth.
I think it was Dusty Baker. I'm not sure.
By the way, just so you don't go ahead and get yourself canceled, I think it was just a gay guy, not someone with AIDS.
I'm telling you, look further.
A gay outfielder
We're all
is
gonna be on our
credited with
phones.
inventing the the inventor of the greeting. It's been called a defiant symbol of gay pride. The high five is a greeting in locker room sports. It would be funny if a gay
Look
guy
up how he
invented
died.
Well, I just did. He died of AIDS-related causes.
I got a career for a little while longer. Woo! Woo!
I like how he just, it was like,
Wow. In my head, I was just like,
did die of it.
pretty sure all gays had AIDS. Hello? No, he specifically
That was one of my
had
favorite
HIV.
moments ever on this show. High five! He's dead of AIDS. Boy, a close one there. We almost did something fucking distasteful. Wow.
No, we did it. But that's crazy, right?
Yeah, no, that's wild.
And then so Dusty Baker high-fived
I
with
think
him?
he was the
Yes.
high five.
He was the receiver of the high five.
So the gay guy is Glenn something. He's the one claiming he invented it. I think Dusty's like, no, it was me. But I guess like who it takes two to tango. Like I
does.
put my hand up. Do I
Yeah,
get
if I
credit?
slap it, I feel like I'd get credit.
But if my hand's not there, you're not doing it.
That's true. This is the chicken and the egg. But you could have just been waving.
This is
Yeah.
Or highlighting.
Oh, yeah, you're like, hey, he scored, man. Yeah.
I'm like,
I don't know.
"Duh."
That feels like something to me. Like you're, what like. But if it never had been done before, why would you put your hand up like that to like?
It is weird to
Clasped
watch
hands.
like old footage of like Bobby Thompson's home run. They're all shaking his
Yeah, they
hand.
do.
They're
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
nice,
yeah.
well done,
Right.
sir.
Hello, thank you. Yeah.
It's very weird.
So
Dude,
yeah,
that
maybe
is-
Dusty was sick of it, and
We looked
whatever.
this up when this first came out, like probably 2 years ago. I'd say Baker made this claim, and it became more known. And we all looked it up, and we couldn't find anything to refute it. But we never saw this. Part.
No, well, I
don't
mean,
know
I guess
how.
it just depends. I bet you if I just searched Dusty Baker invented the high five, they'd probably leave out this gay guy.
He definitely invented the flicking the toothpick 360 in the mouth.
Yeah.
that he does. That's like
That's
every time
so
he does
cool.
it, I'm like, ah.
That is.
He flips it. If you don't know, at home, he takes the toothpick and flips it like
So cool.
360 degrees in his mouth.
It's weird, and I was eating a cracker the other day, and I bit down in the wrong fashion, and
if you bite the toothpick,
so I
your
can't
life's
imagine
over.
what happens if you happen to
Yeah,
do that.
like
with a
like
toothpick.
failing that the first few times. I guess you probably do it like a cigarette first, right?
That is, if you could have invented anything, what would you invent?
Oh, that's a great question. I mean, the vibrator comes to mind immediately. That's just what pops in first because it's
is a
it's
good
so
one.
crucial in my relationship. I mean, there's a lot of great inventions. I mean, I guess there must be one that makes you a lot of money.
You know what's
computer
probably
or
crazy?
whatever.
The gun, like being like Smith and Wesson, being like those guys.
But there's
gun,
quite a
you
bit of
invented
guilt
it.
there. I would think. I feel like I would be like,
gun inventor would be like, I don't fucking care.
Yeah, that's
You
a
know,
good
he's
point.
Like,
But-
kill those Indians.
But the
But if he could come back now, he might be like,
he'd be
"What's
like,
going
"Oh,
on?"
Shit. Yeah. I feel like I mean
Kids?
my really? We're shooting the kindergartens all the time?
A large number of children.
Every fucking like once a day? Boy, I thought it was gonna be used for the army.
and you guys you're mostly using them on yourselves.
I feel like the best inventions ever are, in no particular order, air conditioning, TV remote, microwave, the
Microwave I've waned from. Because I broke my microwave, and because I don't want to put people out, I just never. I didn't break it; it just stopped working, and I just never emailed my landlord for like a year. So for like a year to warm things up, I would just cook them more on the stove,
That's annoying.
and it
though.
wasn't that big a deal.
Yeah.
It wasn't massive.
I need my, if I had to like heat shit up for my kids in the oven all the time, that'd be.
I guess kids are different. 'cause
Yeah.
I would.
I need the microwave. I guess like the internet, Al Gore's internet.
Yeah, internet's cool, but it's done some damage also. I don't know. It's good and bad.
Yeah, we were talking about we like tracing back the origins of things and like what they've become. So like for an example, we talked about Jesus on the cross, and we're like, do you think on the cross he was like, a lot of boys in Boston are gonna get raped over this?
Oh my God! I can't sign off for this. What is this? I've been sabotaged. What
like,
the?
like, do you think like he's like yeah, this will be good. I'm saving humanity, and it's like this is gonna be a lot of sleepless nights in Southie.
I think some wars and such too. I'm
Yeah,
not
There's
gonna.
gonna be widespread
like-
death over this one. Pal.
Like we talk about like the internet, where like when like there was a time like probably the early 2000s when the internet was just like it was just guys quoting Ron Swanson and yelling bacon, and that
Yeah.
was really it, and now it overthrows governments and things like that.
Well, it's more social media, I guess.
Yeah,
it should be
right,
specific
right,
because
yeah.
the internet is great.
it was just the wealth of knowledge and connecting people, and then once we decided to like ruin each other's lives with it by being connected.
The worst thing that the internet has done, in my opinion, is, I mean, we're talking sports, the ticket. You have no tickets anymore.
Mm-hmm.
I have like thousands of physical tickets, and now you're like, I went to the deciding game of the World Series.
Yeah.
See this QR code?
We got a line of T-shirts that he's putting out that has like the physical ticket from classic games.
I missed the ticket.
Did we do the Pittsburgh one yet?
Yeah.
We did make it.
Yeah.
He of course Boston game. So he puts out this line, and you start with what like
First one was Poppy Game 3, the Grand Slam in the 7th. And then I was like, anyone who's got other ideas for like classic games, reply. And someone who's a Pirates fan replied.
He went to the wild card game from
It's like
2014.
the 2014 play-in game against the
It
Cardinals.
was a good game. It was.
I thought you were going to say Mazeroski's home run.
No. It was like when Garrett Cole was on the Pirates and pitched like a good play-in game. It was like, okay, dude, there you go.
Really put that one on sale. but also that's a business idea I have, and I've shared it on the show.
ticket.
No one stole it yet, but I think that.
Probably means it's a bad business idea.
Oh, probably. But arenas should have like they have with vendors. During a game, they should have someone going around with basically a printer, and be like, for $2, does anyone want their physical ticket? And then they print it out. You get $2. You make a lot of money for that, probably, right? You probably, let's call it, you're getting an extra $20,000 a game. Not too bad. Nothing to write home about for a major league organization, but nothing crazy.
Extra money,
either.
man.
And then you get to have. Because my dad's a big ticket guy. We have like tickets all over like the man cave kind of deal where all the big games we've gone to. And it's just nice to have the physical thing.
Yeah, I think Ticketmaster now you can get it, but it's like a $20 charge.
Oh, that's crazy.
I was
They'll
gonna say
send
the
it to you.
$2 is probably not enough. I think the people who want it are gonna want it.
Yeah?
Because
I think for $2 I'd be like, I'll take one, sure.
Yeah.
In case
I
game,
feel like
ends
it's.
up in the
I feel
classic.
like it's more like when like it's a classic, and then it's like I want it, and then it's like all right, $50 pal, and then you're like whatever. If you got your heart set on
that
it.
makes sense too.
But yeah, that's all that. I went to the Mets game the other day, and it was bobblehead day, and I was like, what am I? I gotta fucking hold this box the whole time. Like I'm all set on that.
It's annoying, but it's fun when once you're home with it. It sucks to hold it. This is what I did. I went to Mookie Betts bobblehead day at Fenway, whatever amount of years ago, and I put it under my seat, and I was like, I'm not thinking about it or touching it.
Right.
And if it's
So
there
it's
at the
not affecting
end,
me.
I'll
I'll
scoop
take
it up
it.
and take
Yeah,
it.
yeah,
and it
yeah.
was, and I have it.
Right.
But I
I
thought
see
like if
these
someone
guys-
steals this, I don't give a shit.
I see these guys like fucking going under the seats and grabbing them all. Like, all right, man. Maybe that Pete Alonso garden gnome is gonna be worth something. Maybe you'll be laughing at me and I have egg on my face. But I don't know. I'm not walking out of City Field like balancing the boxes.
The craziest one is I've actually gone to I've had like floor seats at 2 wrestling events recently. I'm not much of a wrestling guy, but we did SummerSlam at it was like for an ad deal or something like that out in Vegas, and then I went to a different thing at Barclays. And what they do is they tie all the chairs together with like zip ties because they all every the floor seats all have different patterns on the seats, and they zip tie them all together, and then at the end of the match they come around and they just clip them all, and you can take yours home if it's your seat.
Oh, wow.
You take a QR code and they'll mail it to you, but a lot of people don't want to carry around a fucking chair, so they just leave it. And then people come rushing down from the main
wow.
stands. Like diehards come like jumping fences and just scooping up like 7-8 seats and walking out like this. It was nuts.
Oh, wow.
It was absolutely nuts.
See, Sal Volcano is a buddy of mine, and he has a WrestleMania seat in his house. And I didn't. That must be what happened. I just thought he was.
I also
rich.
feel like the people. Yeah, well, that's the thing. I kind of think the people who are sitting in those floor seats are probably like, I don't really need this.
I don't care.
seat. So the people who are not are the ones who are like, I would love a WrestleMania chair. So the poors come rushing
It's
down.
the way America works. The richer you are, the more free shit you get.
It's amazing, isn't it?
That we had the story we had Kevin Conley on from from Entourage, and he was telling a story about being at the McGregor Habib fight, and
people were like fighting over that, right?
And people were like he carried it around with him. He carried that seat with him to like a club afterwards, and then to on a private jet, to a dinner, to this, to there, and had it. And then he ended up like working out with McGregor's trainer and was like, "Hey, could you have McGregor sign this for me?" And the guy's like, "Yeah, definitely." And then he gave it to McGregor, and McGregor didn't get one of the chairs after the fight, so he just kept it.
It's hilarious. What are you gonna do?
That's yours now, dude. There's no stopping that.
But that's a better story. Then you have the story.
I gave
I
Conor
take
McGregor his chair.
stories over physical.
Yeah,
things, right?
100%.
Yeah.
I'm not a memorabilia guy, but I do appreciate a good I saw him after the game in the tunnel or something like that. It's like, oh, it's cool.
Yeah, exactly. I tried to I have a couple first print books. Somebody bought me a first print of the Dharma Bums by Kerouac, and it was so cool. And I was like, wow. And I read it, and I was like, I'm gonna start a collection. And then I bought another first print book, and then I'm like, what am I doing? It's just in a fucking it's just sitting behind a counter. I'm like, it's not anything.
I know. And I mean,
What's the first print run?
That's
that's
an
gotta be
old
expensive,
book.
right?
So the Dharma Bums one was $500 or something. It was a gift from a wealthy friend.
Yeah, it's a lot better when you're gifting than when you find it
exactly.
yourself.
And then I bought a Lyndon Johnson, whatever his bio is, and it's signed by him, on presidential paper. That was $350.
Really?
And that was
That's
the
actually
second one I bought. And
that's
then
the
I was
last one
like,
you
all
bought.
right. I'm
This
not
is my
that
collection.
rich.
1, 2,
Yeah,
we're good.
Yeah, exactly. And I think I also bought Into the Wild is my favorite book, and John Krakauer had signed that too, and I bought that one. And I think that was $200 something.
That's
These
not
are,
bad,
I was gonna say these are cheaper than I thought they were.
Yeah, it's not
I
like
would
the
figure
same.
some of those classics would be wild.
Well, I think if
Is
you
it
got
the first there's multiple.
whatever the first the first
first
whatever
batch was-
50,000 that went out or something like that.
Yeah, right.
But it's
So I guess
cool.
The one, right?
It's cool because you're like, oh, somebody held this and was at a store and it says $2.99 or whatever the
Yeah,
fuck.
yeah. There's
So
some
it's-
history in it.
It's neat,
But it's only those things are only as cool as someone who you're telling it to.
Yeah, you
If
look
someone's
at
like,
it-
I don't give a fuck about that book.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, okay.
exactly. And it's like I'm not wealthy enough to be collecting really expensive things.
No, that's rich people shit. Where it's
Yeah.
I just need to amass things that are expensive. That's why I do get a kick out of people who are so anti this NFT revolution, where they're like, I need something physical, and it's like, well, that's just as stupid as this idea of owning something on. But you need to have the book. I don't know, just whatever.
Yeah.
It's just gonna sit there on a fucking shelf.
But I'm
like
like that.
you like the.
I can't even read a book on a Kindle still. I need a physical.
Same.
I read. I got to.
But that I can understand
touch
because you're doing something with it. Do you when you finish a book? Do you like to own it still?
Yes.
I'm like
I do.
Yeah,
It's
I
like a
need that
trophy.
book.
I'm like, look at me. I'm fucking smart, dude.
Smarter than you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't
It's like what I do
to
with
me
all my
that-
women. You keep them in a room.
Absolutely.
Show them off.
Yeah. Tie them up.
Look what I've done.
They're all sad.
When did this new special drop? Pretty recent, right?
April 29th, so whatever
Yeah.
that was, a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's got
Doing good,
over
right?
500,000.
$500,000?
It's 29th. It's over 500,000,
That's
530
huge,
or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it feels good.
I feel like it's been. YouTube has been a huge piece of the comedy world in the last couple of years. Where, I think there was kind of a list of comics who were funnier than the level of their career had shown. Where it was
Right.
these guys are unbelievable, and for whatever reason, just hadn't popped yet, and now it's like, I told you so. Look, there's
Yeah.
a lot of fucking views out there.
No, it's exciting, and hopefully it'll keep going up. Go check it out.
Yeah.
Where are the cameras? This year's material on YouTube. Please go check it out, for God's sakes. But yeah, it's this weird thing now. That's the way to do it. And it's crazy how quick it changed. I did a half-hour special for Netflix in 2018, and they gave me $100,000. And then 2 years later, I did an hour special. Nobody was interested in it. Comedy Central, I paid for it myself. They gave me $30,000 for it, and I spent $20,000. So I made $100,000 for an hour, a half-hour special, and then I made $10,000 for an hour special.
Crazy.
And this
Is that
one
just
nobody
like
bought. So I'm just negative $200,000, $20,000, $20,000.
Is it? I feel like comedy and podcasting has just had such a boom where it's there's just more supply, there's more competition, there's less money in it, or is there...
Yeah, it's weird. I think now Netflix, I think they want more established people. I think they're we want people that sell theater. Their specials are bigger people, and I guess, and I don't know. I don't know what's going on with that. But now YouTube, it's so valuable to own it and then have it all, break it up into Instagram. It's like we were talking about earlier.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
to
yeah.
put clips. Clips is what works.
If you think
now.
about how much, once you build an Instagram presence and you can get, branded deals or advertising, promo codes and all that, that's the value of your stand-up. So
Right.
you got to add up all the clips you did, all the followers you gained, So it's much more of a long play, but it's
too much
certainly the way.
math,
And I think unless you are, I said this the other day to somebody, unless you are desperate for the money,
right.
or Yeah, like keep it yourself. Like keep control it. You know
Well,
what I
then
mean?
you own it. Yeah, I mean, it's like, and things change. Like YouTube has been around for 20 years or whatever, and will be around because people use it. But like Netflix could die at some point, and then you're like, "Where's my special?" Yeah, exactly. And some people don't have Netflix, and then it can get buried in there. It's
Right.
like the people that know you can go find. But YouTube, it's got the algorithm, and they can search it always. Whatever,
I think
so.
there was also a level, like probably back in like 2018, where when Netflix put out a comedy special, it was funny. Like you knew it was going to be good.
Right.
And I don't know if that's always the case now.
Well,
where it's
that's you talking, but yeah, you know, they're doing whatever they're doing, and yeah.
Joe didn't say it.
No, but someday maybe I'll go back. But no, I think YouTube is great, and it's so accessible. Everybody has it, and it's nice to give it for free because now it's like you make your money with people coming.
Yeah,
I'd rather
sure.
everybody see it and then go, we got to go see this guy.
Yeah. I think Shane had said that when Gillis was talking about like putting stuff on YouTube or whatever. And he's like, yeah, I see what that changes because I'm on the road, and like I
exactly.
see how many people it brings to shows.
Yeah, the tickets just goes through the roof. So.
Yeah, no, I did much better after my last YouTube special than I did after the Netflix.
Right.
Really?
Yeah. So, and
That's the name of the game,
Yeah,
really,
you make
right?
more money that way than one lump sum.
And then hopefully, you know, the road's big enough that you sell at theaters, and then you do get a big, you know, big special payout. But
yeah,
even if you
someday.
don't, just it's got to be a
But if-
grind.
yeah.
Man. It's fucking
No, it is, but it's fun. I mean, it's a fun grind. It beats
Yeah.
working.
it's for
true.
certain.
That, I don't know about that. I think that's something you kind of nod your head and you go, yeah. There are a lot of fucking days I'm like, I wish I was just
a regular old
wish
job.
I was just going to an office for 9 to 5 and I could go home afterwards.
Well, for me, I mean, like, I don't want to get dark here, but it's like when you do work, I worked before. When you have a job, at least you're like, okay, I'm doing the thing. With comedy, I'm like, I write for like a half hour, and then I'm like, I should kill myself. It's just like, it's a lot of downtime, and there's definitely a lot of like staring and being like, maybe I'll watch a movie. Should I write a book? What should I do? I don't know what to do. And
I
there's
found
something
like when I was younger, I don't know, maybe once I had kids and shit, it's different for me now. Like I used to like finish up the day of work at Barstool at like noon, and I would bang out like a whole season of television, like no problem. And nowadays I find myself being like, I don't know, I should be doing more, or I am just like I can just watch movies in the middle of the day. You know what I mean? I don't know why I have like a guilt about it now, but it is just about occupying this guy enough that he doesn't start thinking on his own.
Yeah, exactly. And I tweeted that the other day. It didn't do great, but I thought it was a good point. It's like everyone, when you're growing up, everyone's like, live life to the fullest, man. You gotta live life. And so that's like the worst thing that ever happened to me, because everything I do, I'm like, should I be reading right now?
Yeah.
Should I be doing
Is this the
push-ups?
fullest?
Should I fuck my wife? Should I call my buddy? What should I do? And so you're always like, is this full? I'm sitting here like in my backyard smoking a cigar, being like, maybe I should be watching, The Godfather.
right.
Again. Like, no, I saw that. I should, whatever.
Yeah, but I guess it's kind of unrealistic to.
It is.
Like you can't. We were just talking about Logan Paul. He has this series that he called 99 Originals. He did like 99 things in 90 days or something like that, and he took a picture at a Polaroid and he's selling them as an NFT and all this shit. But more importantly, for the last like 3 months, he like skied the Alps. He wrestled at WrestleMania. He went to every landmark in the world. He fought Floyd Mayweather. He did like literally all there is to do in the world. And I was like, that guy did more in 3 months than I'm gonna do the rest of my God-given life.
Well, it's like they old say, wherever you go, there you are. You still have to live with your own thoughts and stuff. So
Right.
I'm trying to just get this as depressing as possible. But
Well, that's
what we do here.
That's funny because
You're fitting in very well.
I used to go. I when I was in college, I went to a lot of different colleges, and eventually my mom was like, "Just so you understand, like you just saying that reminded me of it. Just so you understand, wherever you go, you're there." Yeah. And I was like, "What do you mean by that?" She's like, "Exactly what you said." She's like, "You're
the common
You're
denominator."
there.
Yeah.
That's
Right.
the issue here." And I was like, "Oh, I see." So I need to
I
fix
get
other
it.
things. It might not be the
not
state
the
school
school.
or the rural school or the school, the city campus. That's what I was convinced. That's what it was.
Every
Of
time
course,
it's the school's fault. Yeah.
She's like, no.
what it really
No,
was, is,
son, you're the problem.
which I say
Love
it
you,
was
Mom.
her. She raised you. She's the problem. I don't know this woman, but she could have used a few more hugs.
Probably. Probably could.
Maybe.
No, but I mean that's also part of the game. I mean I don't know. I find there's just something inherently funnier about darker thoughts and
Sure.
stuff, right? I don't know. It's like,
Yeah, of
nobody
course.
likes a guy who's happy.
No.
How many funny people are
disgusting.
happy? Come on.
No,
Fuck
contentment
off.
is the opposite of creativity.
That's why I think you got like a prime as a comic too. It's like, all right, you've made too much money, you're too happy, you're too successful, you're not funny anymore.
Of course,
I need you when
yeah.
you're miserable.
No, I
You
was
know?
talking about this the other day. There's people who were like, I was like promoting the special, and someone was like, "You're promoting too much. You sound desperate." I'm like, "I am desperate. I'm
fucking desperate. I'm hungry.
desperate. I spent $20,000 on this fucking
Yeah,
thing. I have no
need it to
backup plan.
work.
It is
Yeah.
desperate."
Yeah, when you have that like safety net, you know, put out whatever, do whatever.
Yeah.
Oh, it didn't work. Who cares? Like this is, you know.
Right,
you
right.
gotta still grind it out. So
Exactly.
All right, so everybody go watch the special on YouTube.
Yes,
This
please.
year's material. Joe List YouTube.
Yes,
The YouTube channel.
YouTube, Joe
Yeah.
List. This year's material. To type in Joe List, it'll come up. Subscribe, like, and it's good. By the way, it sounds like I'm like I spent all my money. Please watch it. I'm like,
no,
it's really
quality
good.
comedy.
I actually
Very
probably should
funny.
have mentioned this in the story, but on the train on the way to South Station where I met the cabbie, I was watching
Yeah.
Oh, thanks.
this year's material, and it's very, very good.
Oh, thank you. There's a lot of jokes. If you like jokes, it's very old school. It's
Punchlines,
jokes.
wordplay.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
a lot of
yeah.
jokes.
The when we were in Nashville, we were out with Soder, and he was talking about
He was the third
yeah.
man in that video. Oh, that story. Oh shit. Yeah, we got another half hour to go.
we were talking about so I wasn't drinking that night. It was just like we just got in Nashville. It was early night. I wasn't drinking. So Soder saw me drinking an O'Doul's and was like, he's like, "Are we doing NAs?" And I was like, "Yeah." So we ended up drinking like
He had 10 non-alcoholic
we
beers.
had like 2 buckets of O'Doul's and like
His stomach was so full.
That's hilarious.
me and Soder were just slamming non-alcoholic beers, and then he was telling a story that so anyway, when I brought over the fucking
Bucket
of them, Gillis saw Soder grab one and immediately started celebrating. Like he thought it was a regular beer, and he
thought
was
Soder
like,
was
he's
off
like,
the wagon.
Yeah, he's off the wagon. Like not even a moment of like, you sure? Like it was just
That's
like
hilarious.
right away. And Soder's like, look, if I'm gonna break my sobriety, I'm putting together a dream team, and I'm not doing it here. I'm doing it in New Orleans. And
Yeah.
we're like, who's on the dream team? And it was Bargatze. It was you.
Oh wow.
It was. I forget who else. There were a couple other people. But all this is to say is, who would be on your dream team of going out for the night?
Wow, boy, that's interesting. It's funny because I mean I drank with those guys. It
Yeah,
didn't always go great. I don't know what.
Well, so wait, but the shoe story was
The
also
shoe
Joe,
story.
right? Yeah.
that was
Tell the
me.
story about
Yeah,
the girl shitting in
yeah, I
the shoe.
shit in a shoe.
You were the shitter, right?
I was the shitter. Yes.
Yeah,
I was
and
the
we've
shitter.
been debating this since Nashville. Like, was it a rogue shit that found its way? Did you hold a shoe underneath? Did you squat on top of a shoe?
I don't-
How does it end up in the shoe?
I don't know exactly. I was a bit. My memory's a little foggy of the evening. But basically, what I remember is I woke up. I was in someone's bed, and the first thing I thought was, I have to piss so bad right now. Like it was like
Yeah.
that bladder
Yeah,
explosion.
yeah,
I was like,
yeah.
I gotta find I don't know where I am, but I gotta find a bathroom because if I piss my pants, this is gonna be humiliating.
Yeah.
So I went to the bathroom, peed for like 4 minutes straight,
Yeah.
and I'm trying to figure out where I am. And then I went into the living room, and the table had been like Chris Farley. Like the legs were broken out, just completely shattered. And I don't know if you've ever had this feeling where you look at something, you're like,
know it.
that was definitely me.
me.
That was me. I'm 100% sure. And I kind of was like, all right. And then, by the way,
Like
I
it was
had...
a living thing. Like I did that.
Yeah.
I'm connected to that table. I know I ruined it.
That's me, absolutely. And I had the full story. I had a flight to Seattle that day, and I was
Right.
going for a month for a Seattle comedy competition. And so the flight was leaving in 20 minutes. I
What
went
an
back to the
asshole you
bedroom.
were.
Oh, it was so bad. And then I saw like literal footprints of shit in the kitchen leading back into the bedroom. There was like a Nike high top, and there was like a spiky shit. Like somehow not a diarrhea
way.
shit.
Yeah, right,
Which is
right.
pretty impressive.
Like a log was sticking out of the
as a young man. Yes.
out of the top of a shoe.
Big log sticking out of the shoe, and then a big urine stain. No one-trick pony here. I had a big puddle, and so I took my sock and I scooped up the shit. It wasn't like a long. It was like a. It was like I was like a.
He's a puker. Continue.
I would say like a baseball
ball.
type of thing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
a ball of shit. Shit ball, yeah.
yeah, a couple. Oh my God, is this gonna be all right?
Yeah, he'll puke. Yeah.
Oh my God, I feel terrible.
Oh, he's a pussy. Don't worry.
All right. So, anyways, I took the sock, grabbed the shit, and then I flipped the sock inside out. So
Nice
it was
move. It's like a
shit in
doggy
the sock.
bag.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly. Tossed that in the trash, and then I tried to get some of the shit off of the kitchen floor, but it was pretty mashed, and I had to get the hell out of there.
Yeah. So wait, is there shit all over your feet? was it shoe prints or footprints?
I think it was like off the sock. There was some shit on the sock. It was bad. A lot of shit. Threw the socks away. I took the trash with me.
Oh, what a gentleman!
Good guy. And so I texted these women and I was like, I'm so sorry. I want to kill myself. This has never happened. I'm a bad person. And they wrote, no, you're fine. We thought it was
this is
like
awesome,
fun.
right? Yeah.
And I was like,
Have
holy
you seen
shit.
your table and
I was
your
like,
shoes yet?
Well, I was like, these girls fucking party. This is crazy. So I grabbed my luggage. I went to the airport. I missed my flight. Had to take the next flight. On the flight, I realized I had shit all over my pant leg and my actual leg. So
like inside the pants?
Like outside. Like I shit down my pants. So I like literally on a flight, this sounds like I'm joking, I like started to cross my leg and then I just like put it back down. I was like, oh shit. I was in the middle seat.
You're in a cross-country flight in the middle seat covered in shit?
Yes, it was actually...
Those two people must have been like, yo, the guy sitting next to me on the flight, I think he's covered in shit.
It was bad. And it was from Boston. The new flight took me to Boston. So I had like a half-hour flight to Boston, and then Boston to Seattle. And of course, I was on airplane mode, or my phone was off at that time. This is years ago. And then when I turned my phone on, it was like a 6-hour flight. I had a bunch of texts from the girls being like, oh my God, we had no idea how bad it was. You're a horrible person. And I was like, that's more like it. That makes more sense. So the crazy thing about it was they had gone to work. So like this didn't happen at 4 a.m. This happened at like 10 a.m. Like it was daytime.
Wait, you shitting and breaking the table happened in the daytime?
I believe, unless they just didn't see it. Or maybe they slept in a different room.
Wait, I'm saying they didn't realize it.
They didn't realize
but
it
it happened
till they came
at
home.
night. Like
Possibly. I don't know. So, because my hypothesis was like, did I do this at like 8:45 and they had just already left for work? Or maybe they just didn't see it.
That's what I'm thinking. I think they probably got up in a fog too,
Yeah.
and just went.
Yeah, because they were banged up too.
Yeah. And then they come home and they're like, oh, wait a minute. This guy ruined our whole apartment.
Yeah, I destroyed their lives. But so I like wrote this like long apology. I still have it. It's on Facebook because it was a Facebook message. It saves it forever. It's like the message is like 14 feet long when you're scrolling. I sent him $300 because that's the amount of money I had. Which I don't know if Nate told you this part. I called Nate and I was like, "Is that like too much? I feel weird." And Nate's like, I don't think there's an amount you can send that's going to be too much.
I don't think those girls are going to go, wow. You know, I mean, he made up for it with $300.
No, it was bad. So I sent like $300 and this long apology and a card. And luckily, they were like 22 years old because they were just out of college. So they were like, that was crazy, but that's a funny story.
Yeah.
If they were in their 40s, I'd be like in jail. I'd be getting out of prison right now.
Sure.
Yeah.
How old were you?
I was, I think, 28. It was 2000. It was election day 2010, midterm elections. It was whatever that was. Tuesday, November. You can find the date.
A classic party day.
Tuesday, November.
Everyone's getting
8th.
banged up.
Yeah.
Midterms? Let's get fucking ripped.
Yeah, 2010. So I was 28, almost 29. 28 and a half.
That's you're right. You're right.
Yeah, you're still in that
You're good
range.
for a couple
Yeah.
shits.
And if you're doing it with younger people, then it's, like, it's fine.
Yeah, and by the way, I drank that night. I was like, I'm gonna drink again at some point. So I started banging them back that night, which is,
To not even have a moment of that when things get so bad. I did that with money when I was going through my divorce. I got so broke that I was like, well, what's if I only have $100 left or $50 left or $0 left, I have no money, so I might as well fucking just spend it.
Yeah.
When it gets so bad that you're like, well, this is a problem anyway, so I'm just gonna keep on going.
Yeah, no, it was bad. But what was horrible for me, which is not helpful, is all my friends were wild animals. Like Bargatze was like howling, he could not stop laughing. He's like, it's the hardest I've ever laughed in my life.
The way the story was told, like Soder was talking to Nate, and Nate, like, in Nate's voice, of course, like, you got to talk to Joe, like call him right now. You got to get this story.
No, he was dying.
That is one of the best of all time.
And I got another buddy, a comic from Boston named Ira, and I called him, and he's like, dude, I've done that like 5 times. Like literally. And he's like, I'm serious. Like, I did it like 3 weeks ago. I did it at my wife's mother's house. And I was like, oh, all right. Like, which is the exact opposite of what I needed. I needed someone to be like, this is a huge
so
problem.
You're just like, all right, let's go drink it again.
I was like, okay, great. Everyone's like, that's funny.
You're like, I got 4 more to go. I got going.
Yeah.
Once you hit your 6th rogue shit, I've never had a shit. I've had rogue pisses, but a shit is.
I'm telling you, man, that should be the machine. Just lean into it.
Yeah.
Tell it at every show. It is so goddamn funny.
It was wild. I tell it on stage sometimes, and I'll say, when I was 20 years old, I shit in a girl's shoe, I pissed, and I fell through her table. And the only thing not true about that is I was 30 years old. Someone said, I think it was somebody said, they were like, if your dog, oh no, it was my buddy Derek. He's like, if your dog did that, you would hit it. you'd be like, you'd send it to a fucking kennel. You're like,
If your
Jesus.
dog did that, you would consider killing it.
Yeah.
We have to put this thing down. It's out of control.
But my
That
wedding
is-
gift, Nate showed up at my wedding, and my wedding gift was literally it was a book that was actually called "Sorry, I Pooped in Your Shoe." It was a dog.
No
It's a real book. Yeah, but it's about dogs, and it's "Sorry, I Pooped in Your Shoe."
That is an all fucking timer right there.
It was bad, but and then I tried to go, like, I apologized to the women, and then I messaged one of them, or no, I bumped into her because she worked at Caroline's, and I said, I had an extra ticket to go see a Letterman taping. I'm like, you don't want to go, do you? And she was like, yeah, I'll go. And then something ended up coming up. Maybe her roommate was like, you
"Don't
cannot
go out
hang
with
out with
this
this
shitter."
person. But they were actually quite empathetic, which I was always grateful for. They were sweet.
Who among
I
us?
think,
Who
I
among
think
us?
being a dick in a situation like that, I've had not the same thing happen, but I've had girls who came over and peed in the corner.
Whatever
or girls
your
who peed in
bad
the
thing
bed,
is.
Or I've had girls
Just
who
don't kick them while they're down.
One time was a lot of blood. I was like, what the hell happened last night?
Sounds like The Godfather 2.
Dude,
She was laughing.
it really was. Where I was like, what? She had left. It was a hotel in D.C. or Baltimore, and she had left already. And it was like a girl who I kind of knew, but we'd hooked up. That was the first time ever hooking up. And I called her. I was like, yo, are you okay? And she's like, yeah. And I was like, it was kind of like it's a pregnant pause in a text conversation. She goes, "This is about the bed, right?" And I was
Yeah,
like,
it's about the
like,
bed.
yeah, it's about the
about the
bed,
fucking bed, dude.
And she's like, "Sorry, I didn't have a tampon. I had a period, and I guess it went everywhere." And I was like, "Jesus Christ!"
But that's like
But,
everybody's
but I was
had a
like,
moment, and if you kick them while they're down, it's
yeah, I was obviously no big deal. I just wanted to make sure you didn't get a cut that night or whatever.
Yeah,
But,
that's what
like,
I was worried.
you're
Yeah.
bleeding out.
Died.
But it was like, if you kind of pile on like, what is wrong with you?
it's like I know
Yeah.
I shouldn't have shit and broken your table.
Yeah, no.
That wasn't my goal heading into the night.
Yeah, it's like I do feel bad.
Yeah.
I was telling that story the other day. I was at a comedy club once in Calgary, and the guy was a maniac, and I did a show, and he's like, "What are you doing? I want you to you're doing new." He's like, "I want you to do well, do the old. I want you to do well." And I was like, "Well, I want to do better than you want me to do. Like, I'm not tanking on purpose. I'm like, I have more invested than you do. I'm like, I'm not thrilled with how it went." He's like, "You should try a little more." I'm like, "I'm trying.
I'm really trying my hardest.
This
I
is
promise.
hard."
That's
Yeah.
such Canadian heckling. I want you to do well. Like, I do too.
Yeah, this means more to me than you. I know you own the
I
place, but
promise
like, this
you
is
that.
my life. These are my ideas.
Oh shit! All right, we're gonna go next door. If you got more time, we're gonna do a video for Answer the Internet.
Oh wait, we never got your. Who would your drinking crew be?
Oh,
If you were-
jeez. Oh, I
if you were to
forgot.
come out of retirement, you give 4. They don't have to be friends. They can be total
Yeah,
strangers,
famous people.
celebrities.
Oh
whoever,
boy,
you
I
know,
mean,
whatever.
like, Bill Lee. Speaking of sports, I love Bill Lee, and he's like a storyteller and loves beer. That would be something.
He just did the. Was that Savannah Bananas? He came out through.
Oh, I don't know.
Strikeout. Spaceman Bill Lee, right?
Yeah.
He came out of the stands with a beer in his hand and like had been drinking, and then struck out like one of the guys on the Savannah Bananas do all this weird stuff.
Oh,
seen
fun.
that?
No.
Oh, they're awesome.
They're not like
it's like a Harlem Globetrotters of baseball.
Oh,
they
fun.
have guys on stilts. They have people with flaming bats. If you catch a foul ball, it's an out. It's like a mockery of the game of baseball, but it's a lot of fun. It's
Oh,
like
someone was just. I think I just heard about this recently.
yeah, it's cool. It's like they just play.
He looked great too. I'm gonna see him pull it out. I'll show you off air. But it is the.
He's the best.
He was moving pretty good.
But I never drank with Shane. Shane came after I stopped drinking, so that might be fun.
That would be.
But I picture us just screaming at each
Shane
other at
is
some
a
point.
fucking yeah. No, he's a boozer though. It's
Well,
because I'm not like fully sober, but I'm basically for all intents and purposes I am, and the pressure is a lot, and I'm always like I don't know if I can keep up.
Yeah.
I don't know, man.
No, we bumped it. Shane was trying not to drink one weekend. We were both in Tacoma, and we went to the monster trucks. I went with my buddy and his family, and we had an extra ticket, and I was like, "Come," and then. He was like, "I'm not drinking." He's like, "I don't know how you do that." We were talking about not drinking, and some guy was like, "Shane Gillis, I want to buy a beer for Shane Gillis." And he's like, "Well, I got some drinking." And you're like, "Well, that was that."
Yeah.
That's the way it goes, I guess, for a long time.
All right, let's go. Make sure you subscribe to KFC Radio on YouTube to get all the video content. Subscribe, comment, like, and make sure you turn on the bell notifications so you know whenever new video content drops.
I want to say something, but the video has to be fast. So that's it.